All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Edge Finder video. Today we're going to be going over our top buy and top sell currently listed in the Edge Finder. But before we get to that, I want to point out something. Do you see this up here? It says A1 Edge Finder Pro. The reason this says Pro is because we have actually introduced a free version of the Edge Finder. That's right, we have made the Edge Finder, a version of it, completely free. It's down in the link in the description below. You can actually get a limited version of the Edge Finder. It is free. It is not a trial. It is not going to expire. Once you get it, you have it for life. And it is 100% free. So go check it out in the link in the description for the free Edge Finder. And if you like it, you can go ahead and upgrade to the Pro and get access to all of the different features. Again, the free version is a little bit limited. It's just to try out the software to see if you like it. It's a little different than a trial because it's never going to expire. But yeah, if you want to upgrade and get the Pro, you can do that as well. Links for that are down in the description below. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to check out the Smart Money Tracker really quick first, as well as retail sentiment. This is just a little update saying that the COT data did not come out as expected or on time this week. But we still have our most recent COT data here. So we can see that US oil is actually our most long asset when it comes to the institutional traders or the smart money traders. Smart money traders currently 80.68% long on US oil, 19.32% short. And the Swiss franc is the most heavily shorted asset from institutional traders, currently 78.37% short and 21.63% long. If we want to take a look at, say, the dollar currently 64.74% long from institutional traders and 35.26% short. I'm going to scroll down here so you can see here is all of our assets listed, again, from most bullish to most bearish down here. You can see the total number of long contracts open, the total number of short contracts open, the change long and change short from our last data update, and of course the percentage long and short right here. So feel free to take a look at that. Pause the video if you want to get some updated information on that, if there's an asset in particular that you want to take a look at. But I'm going to go ahead and move along to retail sentiment. We're going to check out what retail traders are going long and short on. So taking a look at all of our assets right now, it's a little bit jumbled up because we have so much data here, but we're going to organize it in just a second. CAD CHF is our most long asset out of all of our assets, 87% long, 13% short. The UK 100 is actually our most shorted asset at 84% short and 16% long. But let's clean this up a little bit. Let's look at major currency pairs only. So this is US dollar pairs only. Euro USD, 72% long and 28% short from retail traders. So that is our most long US dollar pair from retail traders. USD JPY 58% short, 42% long. That is our most shorted US dollar pair from retail traders. Let's take a look at minor currency pairs now. Minor currency pairs, CAD CHF, again, our most long pair. We just went over that one. But CHF JPY is our most shorted pair at 70% short and 30% long from retail traders. I'm going to go ahead and point off the risk on, risk off gauge. I'm not going to go over it in depth. I did in last week's video, but risk on, risk off gauge is a brand new feature here in the Edge Finder that is calculating on a daily, a weekly, and a monthly level whether or not the market is looking a little bit more risk on, risk off, or if it's kind of sitting in the middle. But yeah, so brand new feature, really cool, really excited that we have implemented this into the Edge Finder. We are constantly finding ways to update and improve the software to make it the best trading tool possible for all types of traders. So let's go ahead and get into our top buy and top sell of the week. So here are all of our buys and sells currently listed in the Edge Finder. However, I just want to focus on our currency pairs. So there we go. These are our buys and sells currently listed in the Edge Finder for our currency pairs. We have a ton of sells, including a ton of strong sells. 6 strong sell signals currently here in the Edge Finder. That is crazy. 2 strong buys right here. So not going to have any trouble picking between these two, but on the strong sell side, my goodness, there is so much to choose from. So we're definitely going to take a look at either AUD USD or GBP USD because those are our strongest sells with a score of -9 here. And then USD ZAR or CHF JPY are tied, strong buy biases, scores of +6. So I think I know what I want to do here. I'm going to take a look at CHF JPY on the buy side because we're going to take a look at a US dollar cross here on the sell side. And I actually looked at AUD USD in yesterday's news video. So if you want a full breakdown of AUD USD, you can take a look at it in yesterday's video. Still had a strong sell score of -9. So today I'm going to go over GBP USD as well as CHF JPY. We're going to get updated numbers for 4 different currencies. We're going to take a look at 2 different currency pairs, both strong biases, either buy or sell. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's start off with our buy, which is CHF JPY. So CHF JPY, like we mentioned, has a score of +6. COT data is actually a neutral or a 0 score, and retail sentiment is a score of +1. So let's get into those numbers right over here. COT data, we kind of looked at COT already when we were taking a look at the smart money tracker right here, but let's take a look at our numbers for the yen and the Swiss franc. Institutional traders currently 64.07% short, 35.93% long on the yen. So favored short on the yen, and 78.37% short, 21.63% long on the Swiss franc. So that's why we're getting that neutral score right now, is because institutional traders are actually both favored short on the pair right now. Retail traders, on the other hand, are favored 70% short on the pair as a whole, 30% long. And that's why we're getting a score of +1 here, because oftentimes when all of the retail traders are going one way, we tend to do the opposite. Our seasonality is a score of -1. It's our only little red box right here, and we can see that in the month of February, historically speaking, CHF JPY tends to perform somewhat bearishly. It actually doesn't perform very well in our last 10-year average when we're taking a look at the last 10-year price points. In the month of February, historically speaking, it does not perform very well. But with this strong buy bias, if it continues to make moves to the upside, that may not be the case this month. Our trend reading is a score of +2, and look at this really strong, nice upward move over the past couple of days. February 3rd up to February 7th just continued to make higher highs. It's come back down a little bit since then, but price forecast does predict that it will continue to trend upward, partially, I'm sure, because of, look at these fundamentals right here: GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates, all scores of +1. So fundamentally speaking, the Swiss franc is beating out the Japanese yen in all 4 of these metrics. So let's go ahead and get into those numbers as well. Swiss GDP growth 0.2% compared to Japan's -0.2%. Japan has 4% inflation compared to Swiss 2.8%. Japan's unemployment rate 2.5% compared to 2.2% for Switzerland. And lastly, Japanese interest rates -0.1% compared to just 1% here in Switzerland. All right, so that was a breakdown of CHF JPY, strong buy bias, score of +6. Let's go ahead and jump into our other pair, which was GBP USD, strong sell score of -9. So like I just said, strong sell score -9, COT data is a score of -2, and retail sentiment is a neutral or a 0 score right here. So let's get into those numbers. COT data for the US dollar, 64.74% long, 35.26% short. And for the pound, we have 62.81% short, 37.19% long. So that's why we're getting that -2 score here. Institutional traders clearly favored long on the dollar, clearly favored short on the pound. Retail sentiment, on the other hand, is close to breaking that 60% threshold that we need to score it either one way or the other. If you're not familiar with the Edge Finder, the way that we score COT data and retail sentiment is if it crosses a 60% threshold, then we will consider it long or short, whichever it may be, because we need it to be clear and obvious trending one direction or the other. There needs to be a clear favoritism on one side. If it's too close to 50-50, we'll just consider it neutral. But if it crosses over that 60% threshold, then we know that yes, it it is favored in one direction or the other. So this one close to being favored on the long side, which would actually move this score even lower. If it was favored on the long side, this would be a score of -10 for GBP USD, but close, but not there yet. 58% long, 42% short from retail traders. Seasonality is a score of -1. We can see that in the month of February, we're really just sitting right on that zero or that neutral line right there, meaning that in the month of February over the last 10 years, historically speaking, that there hasn't been a ton of change when you're looking at the month of February over the last 10 years. It kind of sticks around the same price point that it starts the month at, but so far that has not been the case really this month. Our trend reading is a score of -2, and look at that nice long move to the downside, and then it's just kind of gone sideways ever since, but price forecast does predict that it will continue to make some moves to the downside. Let's finish up with our fundamentals: GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates, all scores of -1 here. So we can get into those numbers right over here. Currently, UK GDP growth 0% compared to 2.9% for the US. UK inflation 10.5% compared to 6.5% here in the US. UK unemployment 3.7% compared to 3.4% for the US. And lastly, interest rates, 4% interest rates on the pound compared to 4.75 interest rates on the US dollar. So there we go, our top buy and top sell broken down for you here in the Edge Finder. I'll remind you one more time that we do have a free version of the Edge Finder now available down in the link in the description below. But if you want to get the Edge Finder Pro or the Edge Finder with all of the features, you can actually get it for a discounted price when you use code A1YT at checkout. So again, we have the free version in the description below, but we also have access to the full version, and you can get it at a discounted price when you use code A1YT at checkout. Make sure you guys check out the links in the description if you need broker recommendations, access to our free Discord, or want to chat with us on Telegram. If you're interested in our trading software, the Edge Finder, you can find that in the description as well. Thanks for watching.